Brain skills presence. In this video we will discuss some interesting facts about human psychology that you need to know. The American Psychology Association defines psychology as the scientific study of mind and behavior. Over the years, if practicing, have experienced a lot of understanding about its true nature as well as its practitioners. However, his many discoveries about the human spirit are one of the nice things about it. Don't forget to support this channel by liking, commenting, and subscribing.
Everything your mind says has an equivalent reaction from the cells in your body. It is the reason why amounts of negativity eventually take your immune system down and make you feel sick. Sarcasm is a sign of a healthy brain. People who could instantly use sarcasm in response to a trivial question have healthy minds. Moreover, those who could understand cynicism well are also good at reading people's minds. Catching a yawn shows empathy. Yawning upon seeing someone else yawn is a common occurrence, despite not feeling tired nor sleepy. One theory on its contagiousness is that people catch it to show empathy. Hence, toddlers and young people with autism are less likely to have the symptoms as they have yet to learn compassion. Tears indicate the reason for one's crying. If the first teardrop came from the right eye, the person is crying tears of joy. Otherwise, the person is crying tears of pain. A person still has 7 minutes of brain activity upon dying. In those moments, they see their memories in a dream-like sequence. The length of your tongue tells something about your sexual curiosity. If you could lick your elbows, then it means that you are more willing and open to trying new experiences. The way you dress has a connection with your mood. It is not just in the color that you choose to wear. Dressing well could also help in keeping you stable and happy. A single negative thing could only be outweighed by at least 5 positive things. Your brain remembers bad over good, an effect of this thing called negativity bias. It is also the reason why you keep dwelling on how a coworker insulted your outfit despite hearing a compliment from your client. In order to have a balance, a 5-to-1 ratio of positive to negative is a must. Food made by someone else tastes better than your own cooking, despite having the same recipe. A study found that making a meal requires you to stand around it so long that it already feels less appealing by eating time. Hence, your satisfaction decreases subsequently. Your memories are easy to manipulate. In a span of 3 hours, you could be wrongly convinced that you committed a crime in your teenage years. You tend to believe only what you want to believe, unintentionally. The human brain is also captive to confirmation bias, which makes people render facts to somewhat confirm what they already believe. For instance, your grandpa changing his political opinions has little to no chances despite your swaying attempts. It is just one of the psychology facts that you could not change and just have to accept. Thinking in another language makes your decisions sound more rational. You tend to be less discerning about money in your native tongue. In other words, the language you use affects your decisions. Asking why is more motivating than saying I will. A study from the University of Illinois suggested that asking goal-related questions to yourself could motivate you more than declaring it to be true. A rule too strict would only get you to break more. Psychologists found how this reactance phenomenon affects people's perception of rules. Not only would they want to break a certain rule that takes certain freedom away, they would also break more aside from that. This might be the part of psychology facts behind a teenager who is not allowed to use a phone in class would even chew gum in the act of doing so. Your dreams are more meaningful than your conscious thoughts. Among all of the dreams you have had, 70% of it contains secret messages. It means that they bear more importance and worth than the things you think in your conscious. Having a plan B would only make plan A less likely to work. The University of Pennsylvania held a series of experiments that revealed that volunteers who prepared a backup plan before starting a task did worse than those who did not. Team Plan B realized that having options made their motivation to succeed the first time drop. While it is good to think ahead, keeping those plans vague first could make you be more successful. You tend to care more about a single person rather than about massive tragedies. Another one from the University of Pennsylvania. This study had one group learn about a starving little girl, another group learn about starving millions, and a third group who learned about both situations. The results showed that people who heard about the little girl donated more than twice the amount than when they heard the statistics. Psychologists believe that although you would willingly help a person, you would conclude that your little part could not do much when a problem seems too big. You would prefer anticipating something bad over not knowing what to expect. Researchers found that something negative that is about to happen is less stressful to grasp than not knowing how things will end up. The consequences predicting part of your brain becomes more active when you have no idea what to expect. Returning a favor is in your nature. Good manners could not take credit over the rule of reciprocity. This brain command programs you to want to help someone who helped you. It might have developed with the goal of keeping the smooth flow of society. You obsess over things which you feel you lack. Take money for example. The human brain is scarcity sensitive. It constantly feels that you are missing things that you need. Farmers, for instance, come up with better plans when the cash flow is good than when money is tight. You are in a constant search for human faces and inanimate objects. This sensation is called pareidolia, which scientists think came from the notion that face recognition is an important part of social life. It entails how your brain tends to find a face where there is none rather than missing a real one. You always find a problem. It is psychologically normal for you to find another problem upon resolving one. One research demonstrated that volunteers who are asked to select computer-generated faces that look threatening eventually resorted to faces that do not. It turns out that as the volunteers ran out of threatening-looking faces, they started turning to faces that they would usually call harmless. People would rather alter facts than change their opinions about people. As much as cognitive dissonance is normal, you hate it when reality contradicts your beliefs. It explains why you undermine a loved one's wrongdoings despite how bad it is. Crying has benefits. Doing so could make you feel a lot better, reduce stress, and could even help in keeping your body healthy. High expectations incline people to rise to it while low ones have no such effects. The Pygmalion effect holds the explanation as to why you do better when other people believe you would. On the contrary, you could not do well when someone expects you to fail. There is a reason why that song is your favorite. It is not just about the lyrics or the tune, it is because you linked that song with an emotional event in your life. It is possible to feel certain about something without facts or reasoning. Undergoing electric stimulation over that specific part of your brain could trigger a feeling of certainty despite the absence of evidence or logic. Smart people tend to depreciate themselves. On the other hand, ignorant people think they are excellent. This psychology fact would make you take a second look at the people that you know and how they present themselves.